Listen, the era of treating AI as just some external utility you plug into, that is officially over. Welcome to this executive briefing. Today, we're unpacking the ultimate execution of the native AI operating system strategy. And let me tell you, the stakes have literally never been higher. The time for renting your enterprise capabilities has fundamentally passed. We aren't just talking about pushing software updates or, picking a new vendor. This is about the core architecture and the absolute long-term survival of your organization. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. Our blueprint today covers 5 key areas. First, defining intelligence as a sovereign asset. Second, unlocking frontier markets. Third, underwriting at the edge. Fourth, the transition to sovereign systems. And finally, the executive mandate.
Part 1. Intelligence as a sovereign asset.
I really want you to think about this idea. The organizations that win the next decade will view intelligence the same way nations view energy. Just let the sheer weight of that statement sink in for a second. For a nation, relying entirely on foreign energy creates a massive, glaring geopolitical vulnerability, right? Well, it's the exact same for your enterprise today. Intelligence is no longer just some software you license. It has to be generated, controlled, and secured domestically as a sovereign asset. In tomorrow's corporate landscape, if you don't own your intelligence, you fundamentally do not own your future.
And this brilliantly illustrates the divide we're talking about. On one side, we have the centralized cloud utility, the old way. You're basically renting generic intelligence, relying on a fragile, continuous internet connection, and dealing with incredibly heavy physical infrastructure. It's kind of like renting a power generator that someone else entirely controls. If they pull the plug or, raise the rates, you are completely paralyzed. On the flip side, we have the native AI OS. This is your sovereign asset. It's edge-driven, operates completely securely out in the field, and guarantees hyper-localized compliance. It is the literal difference between leasing a pipe and owning the unshakable engine yourself.
Moving on to Part 2. Unlocking frontier markets.
Now let's compare the legacy approach against the edge-driven model. Traditional financial systems fail completely in frontier markets. Why? Because they're heavy, they're slow, and they're entirely dependent on legacy physical grids. There's this massive, gaping operational hole where brick and mortar just cannot reach unbanked and underbanked populations. But a native AI architecture, it bypasses the grid completely. It operates in real time, right there at the edge, reaching these exact populations without all the massive overhead, the bureaucracy, and those crippling physical costs of traditional branches.
So, the crucial point is this. When we're looking at frontier markets, digital financial inclusion isn't just a corporate social responsibility checkbox or some slick PR talking point. It is a massive, untapped economic landscape. Turning invisible economies into active, thriving markets is a highly profitable digital moat for the organizations that can deploy the right autonomous architecture to reach them.
Part 3. Underwriting at the edge.
So how do we actually do this securely offline? It starts with the LRM, the local reasoning model. This right here is the absolutely critical vocabulary for tomorrow's architecture. LRMs are edge-based intelligence deployed on low-bandwidth mobile networks. And crucially, this is the game changer. They operate with absolutely zero reliance on a continuous cloud link. You don't need a massive, stable connection to a data center to make intelligent, highly secure decisions locally. The brainpower lives right there on the device, humming along even in the absolute most remote environments.
Deploying these LRMs gives rise to what we call headless agentic thinkbots. Headless just means they operate entirely autonomously. No human clicking a button, no traditional user interface needed to function. Imagine field-deployed digital agents working seamlessly on your behalf, analyzing alternative credit footprints and underwriting microloans directly at the point of need, all in real time and entirely offline.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the immediate, profound risk mitigation these capabilities provide, because the intelligence is completely localized, it handles real-time fraud detection right on the spot. It conducts complex alternative credit analysis. It instantly assesses unique localized collateral parameters, and get this, it can even execute offline biometric verification to confirm exactly who is standing there. It settles asset transactions securely without ever needing to phone home to a centralized server.
The sheer power of edge compute economics transforms a standard everyday mobile device into an autonomous, fully compliant sovereign branch office. Just think about the massive implications of that for your enterprise. You can literally scale your global footprint instantly, reaching millions of new customers and underwriting new business without pouring a single ounce of concrete or laying a single mile of fiber optic cable.
Part 4. Transition to sovereign systems.
Let's move to and see how this builds across the 4 critical phases of the YPP, your proprietary platform, Network Blueprint. Step 1. Build your proprietary data foundation. You have to organize the unique knowledge your enterprise already holds. Step 2. Unchain your headless agents, giving them the autonomy to act. Step 3. Push that intelligence out to the edge compute nodes, getting it directly into the field. And finally, Step 4. Hyperlocalize your compliance, ensuring every single local node dynamically meets regional regulations. This is the exact sequence that synthesizes everything into one connected global enterprise.
Now, to make this transition actually work under the hood, you absolutely need standard frameworks like MCP, the Model Context Protocol. Think of MCP as your universal translator. It's the standard protocol framework for integrating and unifying data across all these autonomous edge networks. It seamlessly, securely, and instantly bridges your captive proprietary data foundation with those decentralized financial engines.
When you successfully combine all of this, your captive data foundation, those autonomous agentic thinkbots, the raw power of edge compute economics, and hyper-localized compliance, you build something completely unprecedented. You build an ecosystem that is totally secure, extraordinarily profitable thanks to virtually zero overhead, and profoundly impactful for the emerging markets it serves.
Finally, Part 5, the executive mandate. Here it is. This is your survival baseline. Stop renting your brainpower. Secure your digital borders. Execute the sovereign YPP blueprint. The native AI OS is no longer just some forward-looking theory you can afford to sit on. It's definitely not a pet R&D project anymore. It is the absolute, non-negotiable baseline requirement to stay relevant, competitive, and secure in the coming decade.
The true pioneers in this industry? They are already building. The blueprint is in your hands right now. So, the ultimate question before enterprise leaders today is incredibly simple. Will you continue renting standard cloud utility from a centralized provider, leaving your entire future in someone else's hands? Or will you step up and build your sovereign OS?